Erin with the Joy in Pens and Paper, and we are going to do a live functional plan with me. So for this planning session, I have some herbal tea, and this is my favorite mug to drink tea out of because I can take the tea bag and put it right in the head of this cute little elephant. Once it has steeped, it probably has just a few more minutes left of steeping to go. And then I have off to the side, I have an iPad that has my calendar on it, as well as the reminders app, which is synced across all of my Apple platforms, which include my iPhone, my iPad, and my MacBook. With the new iOS 18, there's some really cool integration between the reminders app and your calendar, so you can actually schedule the reminders, and I look at that as like scheduling tasks. Then I have a couple of pens that have black inks in them, and I might be using these during the planning session, so I'm actually going to move these right up top. Off to my right here, I have my laptop with this live opened up so that if I were to get any comments or things like that, I can take a moment and respond to them by typing or by talking about it in here. And speaking of that, I just have to type a quick message. If you have watched my planning videos before, you know that my son just had surgery, so he's in the recovery phase. He just sent me a message asking if I could help get clothes for his shower, and so I had to reply back and let him know to ask his dad because I am doing this. Okay, and then I have my Hobonichi planner, and I've got some blotter paper that I might use. This is the Hobonichi Hone, which is the hardcover version of the Hobonichi A5 cousin. This one I got with cats. I do have two orange and white cats. They are very different than these. They are striped and quite chubby. In this planner, and I think I did get behind on this, surprise, surprise, so I'm actually going to focus on the last few days. So today is the 6th, and I'll get this set up for the new month. So I'm going to turn this sideways. So I am tracking workout, no alcohol, no spend. My handwriting is always atrocious when I first start these videos because I am nervous. Reading. Cleaning and laundry. Now, if you are planning along with me, let me know in the comments so that I know that I've got some friends alongside. So today is the 6th, which is Sunday. So I have already worked out today. I worked out on Saturday. I worked out on Friday. I did not on Thursday, but I did on Wednesday and Tuesday. I did have alcohol on, I had a long drink on Saturday. I had some wine on Friday. I had nothing on Thursday. I had nothing on Wednesday and nothing on Tuesday. I'm not going to record anything for spending today because the day is not done. I do have something in an Amazon cart that I have not checked out yet. but I did not spend anything Saturday or Friday. Thursday, I went for a massage, so I had to tip. Wednesday, I bought something for my channel. I'm gonna leave it there. And Tuesday, I did not buy anything. And I did reading today, Saturday, Friday, Wednesday, and Tuesday. And then, gosh, I have not done any laundry and cleaning. I did some on Tuesday and some on Monday. The last couple of days, not so much. Okay. Now moving into my monthly, let me just pop this blotter paper in. So with my monthly, I have things that are scheduled further in advance, and then I look at my work calendar, which is on my iPad, and mark out the things that are happening. It will appear to be or seem to be fairly redundant when I get to my daily, because I'll be copying a lot of these things over. But as I go through this process, it gives me an opportunity to think about what are the tasks that I need to do in order to be prepared for the different things that are scheduled, etc. So I'm just going to take my tea bag out because it is done steeping. There we go. Now I just have to let that tea cool a little bit. All right, so Monday, October 7th, I have, what is that? Consult. Okay. Well, I guess I am doing that. $8.25. Okay. So $8.25. I have a consult at the upper elementary school. I work in a school district. I am a board certified behavior analyst, and I work across 3 different schools and across the grades 3 through 12. So I have an upper elementary building, a middle school, and a high school that I work at. This consult is a little bit surprising to me. So I'm also going to put in what I had planned on doing, which was at 8:30 doing an observation, just in the event that this consult is not really a thing. I've got to check my email. I was out Wednesday and Friday for my son's surgery, so I have a little bit of catching up to do. And thankfully, I have been doing a 7:45 training on Mondays, and I'm not doing that this week, which will give me a little bit of time to start my day and get caught up on emails and things like that. Now, I did move, I do have something that I received a text message about at 9:15. I have a middle school parent meeting, and then at 10 o'clock, I have that upper elementary training. And then at 12:30, I have a middle school counselor meeting, and 1 o'clock job alike. And at 2:30, I have a middle school consult. So that is quite a full day. Now Tuesday, and this was kind of given I was out half of last week, it's not necessarily ideal, but I have at 8 o'clock, I am co-teaching a safety care class. Safety care is a curriculum that goes through ways to establish rapport with individuals that you work with, de-escalation techniques to maintain a calm and supportive environment, schedules of reinforcement to increase motivation, and then if all else fails, ways to respond if there is a crisis and somebody is unsafe or the environment is unsafe. Oop, somehow I have a little spillage of tea, so I'm just going to use this to sop that up. There we go. Okay. Making messes. Okay, and then I have to let people know I can't make it to that meeting. So here's one of those times where I'm going to flip back and forth. And on Monday the 7th, I have to add in a task for alert high school chair, the 10-8 meeting. So while I was out, there was something that happened at the high school that now there's a meeting to follow up about it. However, I won't be available to attend that meeting, but I also do need to follow up regarding the incident, just so I can get in the loop on it. All right, and just checking to make sure I don't have anything scheduled in the evening, which thankfully I don't. Wednesday at 7:45, I have an upper elementary AIM group, and then at 8 o'clock, I have an upper elementary consult. And was it 11:15? Yep, 11:15. I have an upper elementary observation. I have a 3-year reevaluation eval that I'm working on. So I have to observe the student a few times, different parts of the day, different days of the week. So it's easy to schedule those and not let the time kind of get away. Oops. This should be upper elementary consult, and that looks like it's the letter M. I'm just going to use a little bit of white out. And then at 1:55, I have a middle school AIM group. I actually really love Wednesdays where I'm starting the day with an AIM group and then I'm ending the day with an AIM group. It's really nice. But I am remembering that I have to follow up about the AIM group. We've had 2 so far this year. We got them started towards the end of September, and the 2 groups, there was a student that didn't end up attending for some reason, and so the student attended this past Wednesday when I wasn't there, and I guess the group did not go well. So I've got to do a little bit of follow-up to find out what happened. so that we can make a determination of whether this is the right group for that particular student. So that'll be something I need to follow up on. Now then, Thursday, I do 2 one-to-one groups for middle school students. So at 8:15, middle school one-to-one AIM. And because it's a 3-week rotating schedule, every week that time is different, and then repeats every 3 weeks. And AIM, if you are new to my channel, AIM stands for Accept, Identify, Move, which is a school-aged curriculum for, that's not what I wanted, sorry, for acceptance and commitment therapy. And acceptance and commitment therapy really hones in on psychological flexibility and being able to separate yourself from your thoughts and your feelings, and learn the relationship between your thoughts and your feelings and your ability to self-regulate, as well as building self-regulation skills. And coincidentally, it's also what I'm doing my dissertation on. So I had a meeting with my dissertation chair last week, and it's a new chair because the program that I'm doing, the professor that was my dissertation chair is no longer with that program, and because the college was taken over or bought out by another college, or merged with another college, something along those lines. And so I had to be assigned a different dissertation chair, but also I had to change my topic for the 3rd time, and I needed a chair that was well versed in the topic of acceptance and commitment therapy. So got that topic. I'm just realizing this is one of those moments where I'm doing my schedule, and I realize that I have a task that I need to write down before my brain forgets it. I usually spend Tuesdays at the end of the day with a student, and I will not be able to do that this week because of the safety care training that I'm running. So I need to let their liaison know about that so that they can find someone else to be with that student. This is often why I don't like doing, or I find it challenging to do direct service. While I find it valuable and interesting, it is exceptionally challenging. And yeah, this is just an example of why. Right. Now getting to Friday. Yeah, so just to talk about that a little bit more, because my role is district-wide, and because I also have training components and things like that, it can be challenging when I have direct service and I'm taking up space in a student's schedule, because then when I'm out, somebody needs to figure out coverage, and my role is not the role that figures out coverage. So 7:45, I have another AIM group at the other elementary. This is, we are doing short groups on Wednesday, Friday. So Wednesday, in essence, we're doing the lesson component, the discussion component of the lesson, and then we're doing the application or the experiential component on Friday. Then I have a crisis team meeting, and then I am on a committee or group where we are adapting the hospitalization transition into school protocol from Birch to our, or kind of localizing it to our building. And I actually, this meeting, nope, not that one. The 12:30 meeting on Monday is a counselor from the middle school who knows that I'm on this committee right here that wants to pick my brain for a student that's in need of it right now. So I'm going to be helping out with that. And then we have BCBA lunch, nothing in the evening, and this weekend is free, which is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So I'm going to throw that little ribbon in there. For those of you that have joined, welcome. I appreciate that you're here, and I hope that you're taking the opportunity to plan along with me. With my son just having surgery, I haven't really touched my planner because I have been kind of present in the moment with my family. I will come back and look at Sunday at the end, but now I'm going to look at the day-to-day and mapping out time-based tasks on this time place right here. And I do have some. If you hear my son, apologies. He is video gaming with some of his friends. He's limited in his activities right now, so it is what it is. So I'm looking at the tasks that I had planned out for Monday. So I'm reviewing an upper elementary student, meeting notes, middle school student interaction plan. Monday's got way too many things. I added in a weekly review section in reminders for things that I don't yet have a date or time tied to, and that way I can look at that each week and go ahead and tackle some things or add them to my schedule. We have a new template for behavior support plans, and so we are looking at, oh, that one is done. I had something planned for Monday, but I already did it last week, so I just got to check that off. That feels good. Because we're launching a new template, we have a document that my colleague has put step-by-step directions on how to use that document. And so I want to look through that and kind of add my 2 cents. And then I have a student that we started looking at the kind of comparison between acting out behaviors and use of coping strategies. And while acting out behaviors are happening more frequently than what we would like to see, what we are seeing is this emergence of a decreasing trend of acting out behaviors and then an increasing trend of the use of coping strategies, which likely indicates or could indicate that they are developing the fluency with the use of those coping strategies, and then they're not needing to resort to acting out behaviors to communicate what it is that they want or need, which is just really cool. So I wanted to get the most recent data plugged into there so that I could continue to evaluate that. Okay, now this is where I have at 8:25. upper elementary consult, but also at 8:35 I have an observation I'd like to do. 9:15 I have a middle school parent meeting. And at 10 o'clock I have an upper elementary training observation. At 12:30, meeting with the middle school counselor. At 1 o'clock, my job alike. And at 2:30, middle school consult. So what this tells me right here visually is I start my day around 7:30, so I have a bit of time at the start of my day and this bit of time in the middle of my day where I can get through some of these tasks. Now, in all likelihood, I'll be doing my weekly review and emails and sending out some of these follow-up things here at this first hour. And then in this middle of the day, I will be doing eating my lunch while working through some of these other pieces. So that's why I like looking at the information like this. Now then Tuesday. So I have this safety care training, and this is going to go until 3 o'clock, so that will be my whole day. And I've already got the things that I need to alert people. High school team to change day. All right, yes, so Tuesday typically I'm at the high school, but I'll need to change that because I will be doing safety care training. Don't love that. All right, Wednesday at 8:15, and nope, I went forward too far. 7:45. I start that a day with that upper elementary AIM group. Then I have upper elementary consults. I have 2 tasks right here. So I'm going to update an upper elementary behavior support plan. The student progressed from responding appropriately to greetings to now engaging in some social conversation volleying in order to access reinforcement. So I want to update that and put the date that they mastered the last skill and the next skill was introduced. And I have another upper elementary student that I'm updating the behavior support plan. And I know in my reminders which students, because I have their initials, but here I'm going to keep it very vague. All right, then at 11:15, I have an upper elementary observation. I have a 12 o'clock consult, and I have I should have put that in the next box. An AIM group. Oh well. All right. Now Thursdays tend to be, and looking at Wednesday, I do have this chunk of time here. And so I will be boosting up the tasks that I'm going to do on Wednesday once I do my weekly review, and I'll allocate tasks to do here because I have that block of time. Thursday is kind of my super day to get things done. I definitely have the 2 one-on-one groups, one-on-one individual sessions. So it kind of breaks up my day, and I don't love that, but I will be able to get some focused time in. And again, my calendar has the details of which student I'm seeing when. I'm just not going to put it here. And this time right here, Thursday afternoon, I'm actually interviewing a student who has a fairly robust history with school absences and school tardies. And so I'll be meeting with the student just to get their kind of take or perception on why that is, or ask them a series of questions to try to evoke some information. So that'll be interesting. I met with the parent last week, and I have an idea of what might be going on, but I'll learn more once I talk to the student. This is upper elementary AIM group. 9 o'clock is middle school crisis, and then 9:30 is Birch, and 12 o'clock is BCBA lunch. That's called lunch. It's a working lunch. It's where myself and my fellow BCBAs in the district talk about how things are going, what our district-wide plans are, ensuring that we are aligned with one another and being consistent in our approaches, all those wonderful things, as well as if there are things that we need to advocate for in order to make our jobs more sustainable. Sometimes that's the hardest part. All right, so today is Sunday. I took a bath before this, so my watch was on water mode. That's interesting. So it is temperature-wise 43 to 68 is our range. And I'm going to put my typical workout budget journal 5-year. I am going to do a 5-year catch-up. I have maybe 5 days in September that I need to get caught up on, but I have done a workout. I have done my budgeting. I did get out of your mind and into your life reading. I did Happiness Trap. Reading. And if anyone has an interest in hearing about the books that I'm reading and perhaps even doing some of the exercises with me, I would love to do that. And just to give a little bit more information, Get Out of Your Mind and Into Your Life is a book by Dr. Stephen Hayes, who is one of the founders of acceptance and commitment therapy back in the 1980s. And he's very well published in research and etc. And so he wrote this book, Get Out of Your Mind and Into Your Life, and it has a number of exercises or prompts to help you be able to identify your sources of pain, in essence, your trauma or your triggers, and be able to kind of separate yourself from it. And it talks about how we as humans have such a highly developed verbal repertoire that is different from other living organisms, and we are able to make connections that other organisms can't make. So, for example, if I were to give this a name, and I'll use the example from the book and say that this is a gub gub, and the gub gub says woo, and it's called a gub gub. So I can teach that this blob right here says woo, and I can teach that this blob right here is called a gub gub. But we as humans are going to then we're going to naturally derive or learn that when we hear the sound woo, that is a gub gub. And when we hear the word gub gub, that is this blob. But then we're also going to naturally derive or learn that woo is a gub gub, and a gub gub says woo. So these are called relational frames, things that go together, and this is how learning occurs. And so this happens in our minds all the time when we have a traumatic event. For example, I had my accident and the airbag went off and there was smoke in the vehicle. So when I get into my vehicle, I think of that accident. When I smell that smoke, I think of my accident. And then on the flip side, when I think of my accident, I think of the airbags going off and I think about the smoke. When I think about that smoke, I think about the accident and the airbags going off. So that we create all these relations, and then when things happen outside of that context, maybe I hear a sound in a movie of wheels screeching and a crash, and then I am brought right back to the things that I experienced in my accident. Or if I catch a whiff of that smoke, it brings me back to the accident. I actually, when I got my car back, I have a Mazda, the symbol on the steering wheel, because the airbag had been deployed, was all scratched up, and really it visually looked like there was a problem. So I actually bought a cover to go over it, just like a metal sticker that went over it to take away that visual reminder of my accident. But there's so many other things in my car that reminds me of it all the time. And so that's one of the pain or the suffering things that I am working through as I go through this book. I also am working through some pain and suffering for different things that have happened in my life. And so one of the exercises that is happening in the book, or that I'm working on, is, let me open up my notes. So it's a journal where each day the author is advising that you think about how much psychological pain you experience that day, and is it due to a specific problem. So instead of using a general term as pain, you could say I was anxious because, or I was depressed because, or I was scared because. And you're looking at a scale of 1 meaning no pain to 100 meaning extreme pain. After you rated your pain, then rate how much effort and struggle you needed to exert in order to control that pain, and use the same scale where 1 is no effort and 100 is extreme effort or level of effort and struggle. And then finally, rate how workable the day was. If every day were like today, how much overall vitality and aliveness would you characterize your life using that same 1 to 100 scale? So yesterday was Saturday. I rated a very low pain scale of 3 and a low struggle scale of 10 and a successful scale of 98. The only moment that I could think of that I had was the dog got haunched and started barking and ran to the window. And I had kind of this trigger, this trauma moment of someone was out there. And that stems way back to my childhood. That's associated with some other struggle or pain that I have and I'm working through right now. So it was recommended to do that for 2 weeks, and then at the end of the 2 weeks to look at the trends and look at the patterns to then be able to add to a what did the author call it? Apologies, I should have looked this up beforehand. There was some work that the book did about choice points and looking at things that you know what, I'm gonna pause because I'm gonna muddy it right now. But anyway, if anyone has an interest in this kind of work and wants to do an exercise, I'd be happy to add that in each week. So anyway, those are the books that I have been reading. I did do a bath. I need to fold laundry after this. And I want to crochet a little bit. And I'm looking for a winter crochet pattern. I don't necessarily know what I want to do, but I'm really enjoying the pumpkins that I am working on right now and creating a little pumpkin patch. My mother-in-law really loved them and took a couple home with her and asked me if I would make some for my sister-in-law in her apartment. So I'm working on finishing that up. And yeah, so I figured it'd be nice to have a little winter decor once we get past Thanksgiving. Okay, so with that, I also made queso. And yes, I do write things that I've already done. I am not above crossing off a thing that was already done because crossing off things makes me happy. So there it is. So with that, I am going to sign off. For those of you that watched, I appreciate it. I hope that you were planning along with me, and I hope you have a wonderfully productive week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.